Also, as I mentioned on last week's podcast, that I would be finally got all 4 of the God of War comics, and I was going to do a review, but I'm not going to do it here now. But I'll do a little brief summary or something, and I'll probably do like a more in-depth review later and stuff. Well, that's what I want to do. Why are you looking at me like, oh, well, I don't know anything about this? Because it was me by myself last week. I'm going to rub that shit in.
Yeah, and clearly I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to rub it in.
Can rub it in, I don't care.
Anyway, so yeah. So I read the God of War comic. For those who do not have this, go and get it because it's really good. Anyway, so it's a 4-issue comic, and it's basically set before the game. It's basically where Kratos' wife, she's gone off somewhere, so they're kind of expecting her back anytime soon. And basically Kratos is trying to manage and trying to deal with his rage, his anger. So he goes out every day to test himself in some shape or form, to try and control and harness the demon, the rage inside of him, and not allow it to control him, and him having control of it. That's what he wants to do.
I see.
And you get to see like the early stages of the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, his son, and stuff. And it's like where he's like doesn't let him do anything. He's really overprotective of him and stuff. And comes across some some beast men, basically some men that can transform into a beast, and he kind of loses control. He kind of sees it as a test, then he kind of loses control and fights him and kills him and stuff, and in doing so brings drama and conflict back to his home, and he has to end up fighting some of them because some of them come back to his house, and he has to protect his son, and therefore they basically go and deal with it. I won't really go too much more into it, but it's really good. What I will say about it is that like the art is, the art is okay. Like there are some pages, some panels where the artwork is actually, I would say above average, like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
But it actually gets better during the fight scenes.
Maybe they put more effort into it.
Yeah, which is what it looks like. So when they're fighting, like the artwork gets really better. So I would say it's probably like the artwork's probably like a 7.5. and stuff. So that's really cool. And another cool thing I thought that they did was that whenever someone in like Norse speaks to him in the Norse language, the Norse language and stuff like that, it comes up with like the writing, kind of like the glyph, like the glyph or the writing and stuff like that. And he always says, "I don't understand you," because when I'm reading it, I can't read it. I can't understand it myself. So when he as a character is saying, "I don't understand you," I don't understand it because I can't read that shit. So I don't know if it's something that they did intentionally, or if it was something that
probably
they tried to do. And if you look at it more or harder, you kind of can see what they're writing. I was trying to, and I could never really make out anything that they were saying, because of the fact that it was like a different language almost. And the only time you ever got a reply to anything that anybody said was when Atreus was there, and he would translate like he does in the game, which is kind of cool. Okay. And there's a bit where Kratos goes to some seer that his wife goes to and stuff, and she knows who he is and so forth, and she can obviously speak his tongue, his native tongue and stuff. So but with anyone else apart from his son and the seer, everyone else is speaking a different language, and it's literally like, I don't understand what you're saying. So I thought that was quite clever, but at the same time a little bit annoying and stuff, because they could have still like made it clear what the other person was saying, but still had Kratos like, I don't understand what you're talking about, but but maybe they were probably thinking more about people that hadn't played the game. So if you're just reading a comic, then it makes more sense for them to do it like that, whereas if you played the game and you read the comic, you get why they did that. But if they did it in English as well, and he still said, I don't understand what you're talking about, it makes more sense if you played the game and you get what all that shit is about. Because I'm trying to think, and yeah. So that's basically about it. I would say overall it was a nice quick read. As I said before, I was listening to the God of War soundtrack while I was reading it, which is how I feel like, you know, if you can, you should be. That's how you should read comics, to, you know, I mean, to immerse you more into what you're reading. But I would say overall, I would give the comic like a 8.5 out of 10 overall and stuff. Yeah, it's really nice. But anyway, as I said before, I will do a more in-depth review of it and go more in-depth. It will be a spoiler, so, you know. But yes, I recommend those who are into God of War, who play God of War, who love the game, it's definitely a must read. Go pick it up. And if you can't, then I think you can go online and read read the comics and stuff. So that's really cool. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, for those who managed to get the collector's edition, there was actually another issue, but it was issue 0. So if you're lucky enough to have gotten the collector's edition, then you already know. If not, you can find that online as well. So yeah, that's about it. So that's it for the comic bookie of the week.